anytime, this is like my millionth time doing this. Hopefully this one actually works now that I downloaded something so my camera can actually upload longer videos to my compy. Anyway, so yeah, I found these questions on like the LGBTQ Tumblr radar thingamabob, and I wrote them down and changed them so they also include gender identity. So I will now answer them for you so you can get my whatever of them. Okay. Part 1, my beliefs. What does normal mean to me? Normal to me is a really subjective thing. There's no such thing as an objective normal that everyone should strive to. People should just worry about what's comfortable and what makes them happy, as long as it's like, you know, legal. So that sounded dumb. So marijuana isn't legal and people do that anyway and it's not bad. How about this? It's okay. Like, do what makes you happy and do what makes you comfortable, as long as it isn't bad for you. Number 2, do you believe sexuality and gender is fluid? Yes. Number 3, I'm gonna sneeze, I don't wanna sneeze. Okay, number 3, how do you feel about labels? Some people are about labels, like they think they only belong on soup cans or whatever. But me, as long as you use your labels for yourself, and as long as you're not trying to label anyone else, then they're fine. It's just when people try to label other people that they're bad. Okay, part 2, my identity. How would you describe your sexuality? I'm pansexual, so I like everybody, basically. Well, not everybody, like, I'm not, like, gonna go after everybody, but I mean, like, anybody, there we go. Regardless of their gender identity, or their sex, or whatever. How would you describe your gender identity? I'm genderqueer, trans guy, FTM. So basically means that for me, I'm on a male body. I pretty much think of myself as a guy, but sometimes I feel more like a gender neutral person who would feel more comfortable with a male body. So I'm like 75% dude, 35%. 25%. Sorry, I'm bad at math. 25% neutral, I'd say. Number 2, do you feel like you were born with your sexual orientation and gender identity? Yes. I wasn't one of those people who like knew I was trans or whatever since I was little. Like, I don't follow that trans thing, I guess. But I definitely didn't learn my gender identity or my sexual orientation. Like, it's definitely not like a nurture thing. Like, I definitely think I'm born with it. I just had to discover it and like learn it existed. Number 3, how long did you know about your sexuality and gender identity? Have they ever changed? I think that they never changed. I think I just learned more about them, and I came to terms with them more than actually them changing. I knew about my sexuality since I was 12. Like, I knew I liked anybody, regardless of their sex, since I was 12. I didn't accept it very much when I was 12, but I knew that I was when I was 12. My gender identity took longer for me to discover. I think I was around like 15 when I finally knew that I was genderqueer, trans. Yeah. Okay, number 4. Are you emotionally attracted to a sex different from the one you're physically attracted to? No. I'm physically and emotionally attracted to all the people I like. Sometimes it varies, but I'm always, to a certain degree, both emotionally and physically attracted to both. Not both, there's more than 2. To all. Okay, so my environment. Do you feel accepted by your family? The family that lives in this house? No. My dad, sort of. And also my brother who lives in this house. He's fine with me being pansexual, but not trans. Hopefully he'll come around. My dad is fine with me being pansexual. He doesn't get the trans thing. He's fine with me being gender neutral. Like, he's fine with me, like, taking me to get boys' clothes and stuff, but still kind of iffy about it. Iffy about me being actually trans. Okay, will that ever change? No. Oh, my dad and my brother probably, but the rest of them, no. Do you feel accepted by your community? Yes, thankfully. Especially my friends, like all of my friends accept me for who I am. It's really awesome. I'm really glad to have them. Okay. Number 2, do you have an experience as a child that made you feel like you didn't fit in? When it comes to sexuality and gender identity, no. Most of the things that made me feel like I didn't fit in had to do with my social anxiety and stuff. Like, it wasn't really gender or sexuality. Like, I didn't really think of myself in terms of that yet. So, yeah. Number 3, growing up, did you feel pressure to fit certain gender roles? Yes. This was actually funny because it wasn't by my family. My family were really fine with me being like, oh, tomboy. It was the community, actually, that made me feel like I should be really girly in order to fit in. So I tried to do that. I tried to be really girly, but it didn't really work out. So I realized that I didn't really care about fitting in, and then I just became who I wanted. And I'm happier now. Number 4, can you talk to your parents about your sexuality or gender identity? No. Was sex talked about in your household? No. Has religion had a positive or negative effect on how you came to terms with myself? Negative. I think it's had a negative effect. My family, except for my dad, who's like agnostic or atheist or something, is uber Catholic, and Catholics, by definition, and like by the Bible and blah blah blah, are just really, they don't really like sex, unless you're having a baby because of that sex. So, they're very weird and antiquated, and they also don't like, technically they're not supposed to like people who are anything but straight and cisgendered, as I think being trans is like, doesn't exist or something, I don't know. So, when I learned I was pansexual, it really did have a negative effect. I also used to be really, really Catholic, like I used to follow everything when I was like 12 or something, and so when I figured out I was pansexual, I freaked out, I was crying and stuff, it wasn't fun. So that was definitely a negative thing. Like, I didn't really come to terms with my sexuality till I was around 14, and the next year when I was 15, I was basically an atheist, so that was okay with me being genderqueer and trans. That's basically all the questions that are on here, so yay, I did it. And I'm in my mom's bedroom right now, because it's the only quiet place where no one will barge in. Hooray. Anyway, that's it.